drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down, dead bad.
My drone does not want to go up with these things around. There's no other batteries in it. It's fully charged.
It's zero.
What is going on? Okay, these are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down. The craziest thing. They will not fly. It won't fly. I don't believe in government conspiracies, but listen, the mystery drones and people's regular drones will not go up in the air and crash out. Trying again to get the drone up.
No, you want to love it.
What? What's it say?
Just charge or warm-up battery. Charging battery required.
It's fully charged.
It was, yeah. No, it's not. For some reason.
What the fuck is up in the skies? I don't know.
Both of those videos out of New Jersey. This one here, they were trying to go up and take a look at the drones that they're seeing in the sky with their personal drones. Batteries won't hold a charge. Gentleman here explaining the same situation. Had his drone up for less than 3 minutes with a full battery. Then the drone came back down. And he too was trying to go up and look at these mysterious drones in the nighttime sky. I've got more drone videos to share with you guys from Florida, South Carolina, California. As I mentioned yesterday, I've got some exclusive video footage of some sort of a large craft in the sky above Azusa, California. This thing here would fall in the category of possibly a super drone. I don't know what this thing was, but it was quite impressive. It was not an airplane, wasn't a helicopter, and it definitely was not a hobby drone. We're going to come back and take a look at that footage here in just a moment. First, starting off here in New Jersey, Matthew H., 11/26 of 2024, looked off and saw these 2 drones in the nighttime sky. This video has narration. Here we go.
That's a UFO. That second light literally just turned on.
Those were the first 2 objects that he saw. He was describing them as drones. This is another video by Matthew of yet a third object in the sky that remained stationary. Definitely wasn't an airplane. Definitely wasn't a helicopter, as it made no noise. Video number 2. This is a collection of videos that I put together from various people from across the country. Going to Aiken, South Carolina. Kayla looked up and noticed the sky full of blinking lights. We just saw video footage of the sky full of blinking lights from 2 different locations. Here's yet a third. This has narration. Here we go.
They're over that way. Can't see. How many are you seeing? They're gone.
Another video of the sky full of random blinking lights that weren't making any noise. Jennifer Mishke out of Kentucky, northern Kentucky, 12/7 of 2024, 7:42 p.m. looked up and saw this in the nighttime sky. Some sort of a stationary, mysterious light that looked to be pretty decent size. It was probably a mile, maybe 2 miles away from her location. I'm stepping it fast forward for presentation purposes as this object remained stationary in the nighttime sky. Another example of a mysterious light. I suppose this could be another drone as it's making no noise, and it's definitely not an airplane or a helicopter. This was above northern Kentucky. I'm getting videos from all across the country, from Florida, South Carolina, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, as you see here. You're going to see video footage out of California, a close-up view of what I'm calling a super drone or something. This thing is an unbelievable flying machine. Here's video number 4 of this segment that I put together. This video has narration. There we go.
Staying stationary in the sky. Similar one I saw about 10 days ago, a little bit further high in the sky, but below the clouds. There's not a star in the sky. It's all cloud cover, so it's below the clouds. Triangle shape. Hard to tell in this video.
That video footage was sent in by Kelly out of Indiana, Mishawaka, Indiana, from November 7th of 2024. Video footage taken at 7 p.m. The next video in this collection of videos, video number 5 out of Springville, Utah, sent in by Kings from 12/8 of 2024 of a high-speed object at a very high altitude. Check this out. This video also has narration. Here we go.
Cruising, and it is high up there.
She said it was cruising and it was high up there. And as you could tell from the beginning of the video that was less than a minute long, whatever this thing was, it was moving very quickly through the nighttime sky, had no blinking lights, wasn't making any noise. And this one was probably 30,000, maybe 35,000 feet. It was very high up in the sky. And that was not the International Space Station. So more videos surfacing of more mysterious lights in the nighttime sky. I have more videos from Palm Coast, Florida, Palm Coast, South Carolina, New Jersey, all up and down the east coast of the United States. Here's more video footage sent in by Amber. This video also has narration, and this is around 840 miles from New Jersey, where a lot of the activity is coming from.
Hey, Mike, it's Amber again. So I came back outside just to see if this activity is still going on, and it is. I don't know if you can see. There they are. Boom. At least you can see the blinking lights. So there's 2 flying in tandem here. One there and one there. Do you see them? 1, 2. There we go. And then there was another 2. Probably can't see them now, but there were another 2 going this way. So they're still flying in tandem in pairs of 2 from the south heading north. And I see another 2 actually coming down the road down there. So they're literally just like seemingly consistently flying in pairs from the south heading north here in Palm Coast, Florida. Hey, Mike. Amber again, the Cosmic Hippie from Palm Coast, Florida. Just showing you literally every night. This is what I can come outside and see at any time. 2 planes flying in tandem, or drones, or whatever the heck we want to call them. Aircraft, but they very clearly have red and white lights. There's one, and there's the other. It's like red and white, maybe green, can't quite tell. But there's very visibly 2 flying side by side to each other. And, you know, honestly, I can kind of hear like a very faint rumble on the southeast heading north. And I'm here in Palm Coast, so north would be like towards Jax, NAS Jax, that base. Just assuming, you know, I don't know. There's also the regular airport too, but there are always 2 craft within, I'm going to say probably maybe 5 minutes of each other, literally, at any time, at any given time.
So these things, whatever they may be, are flying very close together. She notices them in pairs. About any time she goes outside the last 3 weeks, she's noticed these lights in the nighttime sky, visible from, once again, Palm Coast, Florida, out over the Atlantic Ocean, traveling from the southeast to the north. And these things have no explanation. She has no idea what these things are, as she's never seen them before. But here recently, they are commonplace in the nighttime sky, visible from Palm Coast, Florida. Okay, here we go. Southern California, Azusa, right here is where this object was spotted in the nighttime sky. And here's the video footage from this location. Up close, you're going to be seeing a large craft that's hovering in the nighttime sky right out above these mountains. Check this out. Azusa, California, maximum prime, October 4th of 2024 at 9:16 p.m. Looked up and saw that in the nighttime sky. Watch what this thing does. It stops on a dime and just sits there. And this particular video is in 4K. This is in a 4K format. So this is about as good as it gets as far as clarity goes, even though it's at night and it's a pretty decent ways away, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,000 feet. We're going to zoom in close. We don't lose a whole lot of clarity. We can't see the craft, but you can clearly tell those lights are attached to something that's stationary in the nighttime sky now, and it's pretty decent size. When I said super drone, this is what I was talking about. This thing's big. Look at that thing, and you can see it's sitting still. It hasn't moved. It was moving when they first noticed it. Now it's not. Notice the lights around this thing that are showing up whenever there's a bright burst of light. That could be some sort of a anomaly that's showing up on the lens, but I don't know. This thing's a pretty good ways away. This looks like maybe a typical airplane over here. I'm not sure. There was no sound with this video. We're going to zoom back in on this object here in just a second. We're going to look at it in different formats. Notice how this thing is just sitting there. It has not moved in probably at least 60 seconds. Modern aircraft that we're familiar with are not able to do this. This is some sort of an extraordinary flying machine. And like I said earlier, it's pretty decent size. You tell me how big this thing is. And there, notice the rotation, how it just rotated very, very quickly, clockwise, about 90 degrees. And the light switched from all red to all green. Then there's a big bright light in the center that's flashing. And then you'll see flashing lights around this thing. Again, I don't know if those are some sort of artifact that's showing up on the lens because that center light is so incredibly bright. But what in the world was spotted in the sky above Azusa, California? Here I zoomed in close. I modified the lighting just a little bit. I was trying to pull forward the craft. You know there's a craft there, but it's almost impossible to see as it's blending in with the nighttime sky. And I say almost impossible because I have a still image I'm going to share with you guys, and you can see an outline of a craft up there that these lights are definitely attached to. There's no way in the world those lights are Chinese lanterns. Those are part of a very sophisticated flying machine. And if that's a drone, that is the biggest drone I personally have ever seen. I'm not saying it is a drone. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at here. All I know is this thing is just sitting in the sky, and it's big. So you know it's got some weight to it. So it has to be very powerful in order to even be able to pull this off. Again, this is a very highly sophisticated flying machine, and we are getting a very unique up-close view of this craft, whatever it is. And it's no telling what this thing's capable of doing. If it can just sit in the nighttime sky like that at about 15,000 feet with no problem, I'm sure it's capable of many, many things. Again, this is above Azusa, California. And coming up in this next segment right here is an inverted format. Light is dark, dark is light. I was hoping to see the edges of this craft, but I've got a still image that I'm going to share with you guys here in just a couple of seconds, and you can see the edges of this thing. And look at how bright and overwhelming that center light was on this craft. There's definitely a craft here, and here's an outline of the craft. See it right here? This image here, I was able to work on it just enough to pull forward the outline, what looks like a big triangle in the sky. Those lights were definitely attached to something larger, parked in the sky above Southern California, right here in Azusa, California. So the drone drama continues.
Out of New York City last night, a passenger on American Airlines flight captured terrifying footage of what they're calling a bird strike on the jet engine, but when you watch it in slow motion, it looks a little different than a bird. American Airlines flight AAL 1722 Airbus A321, which had just taken off from LaGuardia Airport heading to Charlotte, shortly into the flight, a quote-unquote bird hit one of the jet's engines, igniting it. The plane was promptly diverted to JFK Airport, where it landed safely. All 190 passengers and 6 crew members were safe. The aircraft is now under inspection by the maintenance crews, and the FAA is investigating this event. Now, the first thing I'm going to mention here, and I hope you're thinking about it already, is the fact that we've been seeing drones over New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, all over the Northeast. Now, I am aware that bird strikes do happen, but I have to bring this into the conversation because these things are all over the place. Not only that, but I'd like to look up what type of birds are flying up in that area when it's this cold out. I'm sure there's some, but I have a feeling it's a lot more rare for bird strikes in the winter. Don't quote me on that, but we got to check out this video and listen to the sound as well. It's a little muffled because the guy is obviously inside the plane, but just watch this video a few times and tell me what your senses are telling you. Does this look like a bird or possibly one of these drones? Here we go. I'll be back in 1 second. right, so you can clearly hear that throughout the entire plane. I'm sure everyone heard it. I'm sure everyone felt it. The plane dips to the right after the engine is struck. And as we go back and see what frames we can catch, we have these three. We have the object or bird entering frame. We have a full shot of it in motion. And then we have the impact where you see the fire shooting out of the engine. Now, again, this could absolutely be a bird, but with this drone situation going on, do not put it past them to find out that this was in fact one of these drones, and they are going to be keeping this from the public. Could you imagine a story where they admit that one of these drones struck an airliner over New York City, and what kind of chaos that would cause an already on edge American population when it comes to these drones and the lack of information our government is giving us? If you think for 1 second that our government does not know exactly what these are, you have been living under a rock. I can promise you these are not aliens. This is some sort of surveillance or even some sort of Space Force mission to prepare for a later event. I have a feeling, my friends, that we are doing exactly what they want us to do, and that is talking about this nonstop. Last but not least, my friends, I gotta show you this post from a possible whistleblower. This guy is claiming that he is a 25-year radar operator for a major agency over in New Jersey. Listen to this. He goes on to say, and I quote, "The drones are a part of a military drill being conducted by Space Force. Everything is on a need-to-know basis, which is why there's so much confusion. What gets me concerned and why I had to make this post is that something big is about to go down. I happen to know that there are additional full lockout drills that are scheduled to take place between now and Christmas Eve. These operations involve the full turnover of all radio/radar and aircraft communications to the military for several hours at a time. In conjunction with that, there are also scheduled satellite launches off the books, which have been occurring since October. They are setting up some kind of big show for the public very soon. CNN was even at our facility shooting pre-roll footage for a future story. I don't know exactly what's going on, but all I know is this: get ready. Peace and safety to all of you and your families." Wow, my friends, this story is out of control at this point. There is so much going on in so many different angles that this very well may be true, and we may be approaching a very significant event, not only for our country, but for the entire world. All right, my friends, please comment down below. Let me know what you think, and
look at this motherfucker. Look at him spraying. Look at that. Look at that. He is spraying the sky again. Bro, this is fucking crazy, man. Look at this guy. They're spraying the skies. Look, he just sprayed that. This guy. This guy just sprayed that.
Would be a bigger bummer. So these are much more valuable types of crops, and you got to be a lot more careful around them. And it really hasn't been until recently that technology has advanced to the point where we can do these kinds of things in these very, very tight spacing, very precious crops around us as we're navigating through and doing those pre- and post-harvest work.
That's Agtonomy's co-founder and CEO, Tim Hoover. For the last 40 years, the Ag Information Network has been a source of news for farmers and ranchers.
The beach in Island State Park in Ocean County with the sheriff. He has been working it every single night. He's got his own tethered drones chronicling. One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there. So we thought maybe they'll replicate it. They didn't, but we thought it was a possibility. Then last night we had a number of other people there, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them.
We're following it in the water, in the Atlantic Ocean. Did they tell you anything about the size, what they look like? Were they able to get images? How close were they?
They were pretty large and they weren't far off the stern. So it's very, very troubling. I called the joint base and talked to the commanding officer there and asked, we know we have the capability within DOD to ascertain where it's coming from, even bring it down. And they have it, but they don't have the quote authority to do it.
What from whom? See, this is the question, Congressman. So when you're out over the ocean and you have 12 of them out there, I think, it's a very reasonable question. Why weren't one of those drones trailing the Coast Guard ship shot down over the ocean and grabbed and checked out?
And I've asked the commanding officer to get that authority. I've written Lloyd Austin to ask him to get that authority. I mean, this could be the beginning of something, or it could be nothing. Who knows? But how dare they allow us to live? I just listened to the White House spokeswoman
say nothing.
I mean, we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are. Is that correct? That's right. It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
The sighting of what we are told are drones over sensitive, super sensitive military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous.
Which is sort of
right now.
It's a way of pivoting from 2024 to 25, because this seems to be ongoing.
I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm. Very early in 2025, all hell is going to break loose. Watch.
You heard that here first, folks. I mean, to say all hell's going to break loose in early 2025, you don't get a lot of wiggle room on that one, Ross.
Nope.
By March of 2025, I'm going to be holding you accountable, saying, okay, you said, let's hear it.
Do it one more time. Oh, there's something right on the water. Right on the water. Thank you. Thank you. If you could flash for us, and I'm getting it right there. It's still in the camera. It's still in here. Thank you. Oh, here, someone needs to look through this. It's very bright. Thank you. Oh, you see it? It's right there. You see it? That is definitely an orb. I'm tracking it.
Weird.
What the living daylights, man? What the fuck? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Hang on.
Oh, look at it doing it. We'll do it again. What? And oh, look at it again. It's like an airplane dropping. Like it's like a dropping flares or something. I wonder. There's that. Oh, look at it doing it. Look at it again. What is that?